You just made the best mistake of your life. You clicked on episode 40 of the Doofy Doo talk through of Shiren the Wanderer. Well, I'm back from my brief hiatus in time attack mode. I'm glad I did that. I really needed that. In this room with an owl. I'll shoot some arrows at it. That break was refreshing because I felt like I was getting kind of stuck in a rut here in Bufu's cave. I must remember though, now I'm going to play conservatively again. I need to change my style up. So no more stair runs. I'm going to be really careful because I played a long time and it would suck to die this late. Hey there, Mr. Mini Robber. What a coincidence. Last episode I talked about the changes I was going to make to the Daredevil family, the nerfs I basically made. And I said that was the last major change I was going to make to any of the monsters. There are a couple more minor changes I want to make to the two monster families left that don't have any special abilities. And the first one is, surprise, surprise. Alright, Doofy. Must remember, I am no longer in time attack mode. Do not do a stair run. No matter how much you would like to. I'm going to explore the entire floor layout, get all the loot, play the correct way. The safe way, because this is really a training run, this and Scroll Cave, to get me ready for Fate's Final Puzzle. And, you know, doing stair runs is great when you're in time attack, and if you die it only means you lose 30-45 minutes. In Fate's Final Puzzle, when you get deep in, you just gotta play conservatively, because you don't want to die and have to replay like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay. Alright, what was I talking about? Oh, this guy reminded me. First family, surprise, surprise, I'm going to fix is the Mini Robber family. And remember I said that the Chintala and Mini Robber kind of had overlapping roles. Now that I played a little bit of time attack, I realize, since there are so many more Chintalas, that the Chintala is a little bit more of a heavy than the Mini Robber. It's definitely a little more scary to be surrounded by Chintalas than be surrounded by Mini Robbers when you're at level 1. So maybe they do have a little bit of a different role. But nonetheless, I feel that any monster family with no abilities is a missed opportunity. As usual, I'm going to leave the level 1 Mini Robber exactly the same. But if you watch the Mini Robber attack animation, they kind of have an animation where they run in place for a sec. Oh, this could be dangerous. I need to be careful. I think I can just... Ah! Fluffy bunny, you heal everyone. You are a non-discriminating healer. I appreciate that. I really do. But this is not a good time. This purple slime meat. I mean, I can make anything a grape jelly. And as long as I get at least one grape jelly meat in return, it's like I'm invincible. I think that's why I was feeling like I was in a rut. Because I don't have a lot of fear. I guess I could run into a degeneri somewhere in the corridor and then I'll change my tune, but I don't know. This feels pretty good. The Mini Robber has an animation when it attacks where it runs in place and closes its eyes actually and then attacks. I'm going to take advantage of that animation for my redesign. The level 2 Mini Robber, when it's next to you, will have a random special attack where it closes its eyes and runs in place for a turn, and then the next turn, go ahead and grape jelly this guy just in case. The next turn after that, it's going to attack you with a powerful stab or slash. So you kind of have a turn to prepare for it and get out of the way. But even if you're not in that space anymore, the level 2 Mini Robber is going to do that attack. What does that do? That adds a lot of depth because suddenly that's a level up opportunity, a really easy one. All you have to do is get another monster into that space and the Mini Robber is going to have its eyes closed. It'll attack its buddy and potentially level up. What happens when it levels up? Well, the level 3 Mini Robber, whenever has a direct line of sight to you, so any of the 8 cardinal directions in a room, will randomly do that wind-up animation, so close its eyes, start running in place. The next turn it's going to charge at you and stab you. So if you've ever played A Link to the Past, I hope you've played A Link to the Past, it's similar to what Link does with the Pegasus boots. He has that kind of charging attack where he sticks out his sword. So that's what the level 3 Mini Robber is going to do. It's going to be a powerful attack. And again though, it's not going to care if there are any monsters between you and it. So it can level up really easily. Because it's so easy to level up the level 2 and level 3 mini robbers, the experience boost is going to have to be pretty small. You can't get a lot of experience. Because at least with something like the chain head, and I should note that in this remake, they gave a buff to the chain head. The chain head didn't used to be able to attack you 2 spaces away. But even though that ability that they gave the chain head lets it level up a lot easier. Okay, let's see if this one attacks me. There you go. You can see just for a second it closes its eyes when it runs in place there. It does take a little bit of skill to level up a chain head. You know, you have to have an item. This, you don't have to have anything. You just lead a monster in front of the mini robber and it's going to attack. So, not going to be a lot more experience for the level up, but it will be some. So, it'll be a little bit of strategy. And then the level 4 mini robber is not going to wind up at all. There's not going to be any kind of preparation turn. If it sees you in a straight line, it's just going to charge randomly. Not every time, but randomly. And you could use that to take out a lot of enemies between you and it. So it's potentially a little bit overpowered. But I think it balances out, because if you can't see it, if it's a big room, it's just going to charge in out of nowhere, which is funny, and just run into you for a pretty powerful attack. And if there are multiple leveled up mini robbers in a room, suddenly you could be surrounded by them, because they can get next to you really quickly. And I feel like that adds some interesting strategy. So that's my fix for the mini robber. I think it'd be pretty funny to see mini robbers running around, running into their own guys, showing up out of nowhere. I like their design. I like their little mask and cape, or cloak, if you want to make it sound more cool. I should add though, I have the official game guide from Chunsoft with the official monster art in it. And I used to assume before I had the guide that that little triangle on their face was a beak, and all the brown stuff on their head was feathers. Remember way back in episode 1, I said the mini robber reminded me of the chicken hawk from Foghorn Leghorn, and obviously that's a bird. But if you look at the official monster art, the mini robber, that little triangle is actually its mouth, and all that brown stuff on its head, those aren't feathers, that's hair. It has like bushy brown hair. And underneath its mask, it has like a full sort of lower head beard that like covers its entire lower half of its face. It looks a little freaky, honestly. So I'm going to continue to think of it as a bird bandit. But just know that in reality, it does not have a beak. It has a little mouth and way more facial hair than is necessary. And it's wearing no pants. So it's like a little... Hey, what do we have here? I wonder what kind of swords these are. Oh, they're all Bufu's cleavers. This is a pretty common sight. It's important to get as many Bufu's cleavers as possible before you beat Bufu's cave. So I'm going to sell everything I have. I have a walrus jar with, let's see, 2 empty spaces in it. So I can steal at least 2. I have this empty monster jar. Oh, that reminds me, I think in the rescue episode, I pressed a monster jar and no monsters came out. I figured out that's because there were too many monsters on the floor. There's a maximum number of monsters you can have on the floor. And they were already in the monster house, you know, a lot of them. So just no more monsters came out because no more could come out. I forgot the exact number though. I am going to put the most powerful Bufu's cleavers in front of the entrance to the shop. And then steal them with my walrus jar. I don't think I'll have enough money to buy one. Let's see, this monster jar probably isn't going to give me too much. Yeah, $4.50, that's not going to be enough to buy one, but I can steal a couple Bufu's cleavers with my jar. I always thought it's funny how the shopkeeper just watches this walrus run into his shop and take his stuff. It's like, oh, walruses are pretty heavy this year, huh? It's just like a risk of the trade, I guess. He doesn't even try to stop them. Weird thing is he's strong enough to kill them if he wants to. Hey, Mr. Shopkeeper. Hey, have you seen these two Bufu's cleavers I have that look mysteriously identical to the ones that just vanished from your shop? Alright, I guess we'll see you around then. I try so hard to make this game make sense, but some of these things, you just have to suspend your disbelief. Super fast purple walruses stealing things from shopkeepers who normally would kill anyone, but somehow leave walruses alone. Maybe walruses are sacred in this culture. Possibly. There we go. Pitfall trap, eh? Well, I'm close to the stairs. I think I could have saved some time. I'm still thinking I'm in time attack mode. Could have saved some time by going down that pitfall. Oh well, not a big deal. I am no longer in time attack. As I said, it's important to escape with as many Bufu's cleavers as possible because you will need to meld those to some weapons, powerful weapons, to get through the later bonus dungeons in the game. I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode right here. Will we complete Bufu's cave next episode? It's a definite possibility. Find out next time on Shiren, the Wanderer. I know the Wanderer who eats the most. He'll eat a reaper or a pumpkin ghost. And when he's in trouble, he always plays cheap. He throws his jelly on everything. He uses grape jelly meat.
Fluffy bunny, you heal everyone.